Yo, what's up? Dude, I gotta tell you guys a story. Well, I don't know if it's a story, but I found out that my ADHD is as strong now as it was when I was in school and being a kid. Oh, God. So, we had to change my faucet out for my bathtub just yesterday. Yesterday. And and my brother-in-law comes over to do it for us. And he told me a couple of days before, I'm gonna teach you how to do it, right? And I was immediately like nervous. Like, oh man, it's like being in school again. It's like, oh, I hope I pay attention right and do stuff right. Well, I did not. So he gets here, and we start trying to find out here in this mobile home where the faucet is. The faucet for my bathroom to access it, since the bathroom is right next to my room. The faucet is right next to me. Right next to me in my mirror, right behind my dresser. And he has the appropriate tool. He brought it with him to cut the sheetrock out here behind my dresser to get to the faucet. And he's in here going to coach me. My dad's in here going to coach me, I guess. And then mom and my sister are standing over by my door. And he's like, okay, put it on the line where I drew to cut. Don't put any pressure to it. Just follow the line and let it do its thing. You don't gotta try. And I was like, okay. And I kept screwing up. Like, putting pressure to it. What he told me not to do. And the brain registers not to do it, but the body's like, I'm gonna do it. And I had him talking to me about it. My dad's over here telling me the same thing. Then my mom and my sister are watching. And that pressure I just could not do it. So that's another part of ADHD that, like, pressure like that. Trying to learn something on the spot like that. It makes it really challenging for us. Like, man, I kind of thought maybe it's not as bad. Sorry about the shaking. My room is cold. But, there's something about it. The pressure is just like, oh man, it's just too much. He finally he took over and finished up what we needed to do. But I did cut, part of it. I did pretty good. I might went off the line a little bit, but did pretty good. I'd have to do that a lot to really get it down and force my brain to know not to put pressure like that. Because I would get it on there and squeeze the button to let it do its thing, and it would slip out. Or it would go too far into where he had started the cut. And then there's another thing that I did not mention in my first video about ADHD. Like, I've mentioned the hyper focus part, See, I can't even talk hardly sometimes. The hyper focus is real. Like, guitar for me, I can focus on that for ever how long I want to do it. But there's also a bit of obsession that will happen on your favorite things. Like my girlfriend, man, she has been drove nuts since, oh man, what was it, like July or June is when they announced this, that Resident Evil 9 is coming out in 2026, February. That's all she's been hearing since I saw that trailer, and we're going back to Raccoon City. Like, dude, I am just, wow, can't believe we're going back to Raccoon, and I've been talking about it forever. I know that she's been drove crazy with it because she told me I'm not coming up here on that weekend that it comes out because nothing's going to pull me away from that. You know, it's one of those things that's just part of the ADHD thing. Like, we will obsess on things. Like, guitar is a big obsession for me. I love it. I love to do it. And then playing video games sometimes can be, a little obsessive. Especially if it's one that you really like. Like Resident Evil, man. They put RE2 and 3 from the 90s on PS Plus Premium. And I got those. I was at work the day that they were released. Went on break. I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to go on the PS app on my phone here and go ahead and put those in my cart. And I was just, wow, I can't believe this. Finally, after all these years. And then I get on the app, they're not there. And I was like, what? They said they were coming out today. And I was like freaking out. But no, they did not release in the US, apparently, until 12 o'clock in the afternoon. When I went on lunch break, I think it was 11 o'clock, because my lunch break's at 11. That's when they were on there. And I threw those things in my cart, ready for when I got home. And then once they were in that cart, the workday just drug on by. Because I was so excited to get home and play those games. And then Resident Evil 3, I played it. And I completed everything that's possible to complete in that game in like 3 days. 3 or 4 days. All the infinite weapons for the mercenaries, done. I've already put like almost 30 hours into that game. And it only came out on September, what was it, like 22nd? Or somewhere in there, something like that. Not very long ago. Because I had my dentist appointment on the 22nd, so it was September 19th. 19th or 20th. And man, like, it's just like me as a kid on the PlayStation 1. That gaming obsession, man, is stronger than ever. Today, I sat here all day long playing RE2. I played some RE3, got bored of that. Played some Doom, the Dark Ages. Completed a few chapters of that. Went back to RE2. Did a little bit of that. Went back to RE3. Played for a few minutes. It's just that kind of thing, man. That's the only thing that annoys me with my ADHD brain. It's like I'll be into a game or into a movie, watching it, like, or playing it for 20, 30 minutes. And then all of a sudden, nope, I'm doing this now. And it's just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it will happen again because they have announced the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection for PS5. And when that comes out, man, get ready. For all you gaming fans that watch this channel, get ready, man, because we're going to be doing streams of 2, 3, 1, 4, all the games that are on there that I can get streams in, I'm going to do it. It's going to be another one of those obsessions because I grew up on those arcade games. And man, like, it's so bad sometimes. Some days it's not that bad. But other days it's like, man. Other days it's like, dude, I can't focus, or I'm completely fixated on something. And my girlfriend tells me, you're kind of obsessed with this whole Resident Evil 9 thing. And I was like, you don't understand. Like, I've been waiting since 1999 to have a game in the mainline series with the exclusion of Outbreak File 1 and 2 and Operation Raccoon City to take place in the ruins of Raccoon City. Like, dude, I wonder what's going to be there. And what characters will make a return. I'm pretty excited for the new character, Grace. She seems really cool. Hopefully, I hope they don't make her just another generic female character. But I'm excited for it. I can't wait. And I've been ordering Resident Evil merchandise and stuff. But like my ADHD is still as strong as it was back when I was a kid. And like wow. I kind of thought I might be over it, but I guess it is a lifelong thing. Because, right now, I can sit here in my chair. I'm not rocking, and I can talk, but eventually, I'm gonna want to move. I just, I have to. It's like almost like an OCD thing. Like, you can do it, and it calms you for us. Like, for me, rocking like this keeps me calm, collected, and I'm cool. And I also use Copenhagen, and people are like, dude, how long you been doing that? A long time, like a really long time. And I don't think I'm addicted. I really don't. I think it's that whole ADHD thing, the OCD part, because I can go to work. I don't do it at work. I can work 7 to 3:30, which is what I work now, or 7 to 5:30, and go all day without it. But when I get home and I'm sitting here right now, like this, watching a movie or playing a game, that's when I do it. It's like an OCD thing. It's really weird. And I went to the dentist, and they told me you should quit. You should quit Copenhagen. And I was like, yeah, I know. How long you been doing it? You don't want to know, you know. And then also, I've gotten a few new. Well, let's see if I can get it right. A few new firearms over here. There's some up there, and I got that Ruger AR up there. It's really cool. And I got another one coming here soon. It's a Smith & Wesson M&P 15. I got it for $549, brand new. It's on layaway right now, but I might keep that if I like it more than this Ruger, and part with the Ruger for something else, or just get the money out of it. But that's another thing. Like I really like firearms. I really do, and I will get a bunch of them, and then sell off the ones that I don't shoot very much, and get more. I used to do that with video games when I was a kid. I would get games and be like, I don't really play those anymore, so I'm gonna take it to my local pawn shop that I used to go to. They would trade you 2 games for one. Like I could take 2 games in, and I would get one they had for the 2 that I didn't want anymore. So I would do that, and I ended up doing that until I had 50 PS1 games on the old PlayStation 1. And then I did that with the PS2, and I had like 30 PS2 games or more. 3, 4, I didn't do it as much with on the PS4 because everything had went pretty much digital. You could get it digitally. It's much easier to just buy it on the store. You don't got to leave your house to get a game, and they never run out. Seen a funny post on Facebook. Like people said, this one guy said, it's kind of funny how people pre-order these games on the store, on the digital store, as if they're gonna run out of the copies. And I was like, you know what? He's kind of right. Why do we rush so much to pre-order these games when you know that they're always gonna have it? But eventually, the pre-order bonuses, you don't get those if you don't pre-order it. But a lot of the pre-order bonuses are kind of lame, especially for Call of Duty. It's like operator skins or gun skins. But I personally will no longer be playing Call of Duty. Oh shit, rocked into my bed. My chair moves. I don't play Call of Duty like I used to. I've just grown to not enjoy that series the way I used to. Like for me, The original Call of Duty 1 through 3 were amazing games. They were. Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3 were amazing games. I loved them. You know, I have the remastered versions of 1 and 2 on the PS5 here, and I play those more than I play the new Modern Warfare games. I just don't like the new ones. I don't know why, but I will be playing Battlefield 6. Like, Battlefield 6 just seems like it's going to be unbelievable. It's going to be so much fun. They had the open beta. I didn't get the chance to play that, but apparently there was people addressing issues to the company that makes the game. I forget who it is. And they actually will address these issues. And Call of Duty has just become like they're putting all these different people in, like Beavis and Butthead come to Call of Duty. Why? Why do you need that? Or like Modern Warfare 3, the new one. Well, the remake of it, I guess you'd call it. Why do you need Cheech and Chong and Snoop Dogg running around in there? And you can't play the multiplayer because, you know, there's people sniping you from halfway across the map. You don't even get the chance to move and do anything. Or you try to shoot at someone and they jump and spin around in the air and shoot you in the face. Like, come on, dude. I remember the old multiplayer. Like on Medal of Honor. Who remembers Medal of Honor? For all you gamers out here. That series had great potential. It really did. And me and one of my friends would play at his house on the multiplayer mode, and it was just one-on-one, and try to kill each other, and he would win, you know, because I wasn't very good at that. I'm still not very good at multiplayer. But like, man, if Medal of Honor were to come back, I don't think it would survive. I really don't. Unless maybe the same studio that does Battlefield does it. Maybe it would, but Call of Duty just eclipsed that. It eclipsed that whole thing. Once those first 3 Call of Duty games came out, Medal of Honor just kind of fell off. So it has become more of a chat about video games now than ADHD, because that's another part of it. You just thoughts, man, and you got to get it out, you know. So I'll go off on tangents and shit like that. But like the Resident Evil game, the new one that's coming out, I can't wait. They've also announced a Halloween game. And I was like, dude, it's horror movie? He's like, come on, man. I'm down for that. Let's do that. You know, so when that comes out, that'll be up here too on the channel. And it will have a story mode, apparently, or a single player experience. And then there's also a new Friday the 13th game in development. And a new movie, finally. And it's not speculation, it's official. And apparently this year, at Days of the Dead in Atlanta, Sean Cunningham's going to be there. And I told my girlfriend and my buddy Matt, why all of a sudden is Sean Cunningham coming? Because last year they had CJ Graham, which I got to meet, Derek Mears, and Tom Savini, the makeup effects artist, for Friday the 13th there. You know? And I was like, well, I don't know if Sean Cunningham would ever be at one of these conventions, but now that this new movie has been announced, some people, including myself, are speculating that that's the reason that he's doing this Days of the Dead thing. He wants to talk about that movie. And if there's a Q&A going on for that, I'm there. Like, man. But see what I mean? Like, ADHD just makes you obsess on the things that you love. And I know that it gets on people's nerves. I know it does. My girlfriend has raised that point to me quite often. But it's just something that having ADHD, you can't really help. Like, it's just, you know, you've got to watch this closely. Learn everything you can about it. and make sure that you don't miss anything. The only thing I probably won't do with the new Resident Evil game is watch a lot of the gameplay, because I'll want to be surprised. So, yeah, there you go, guys. That's kind of my story, tangent, chit chat, craziness about ADHD as of today at 38 years old. And there's one other thing I want to add to this video real quick here. I had a plan in high school. Well, no, not really high school. Before high school, like 7th grade, I was thinking to myself, when I get done with school, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna join the Marine Corps. That's what I wanted to do, because I had got a Full Metal Jacket for my 15th birthday, and I saw Gunnery Sergeant Hartman, Arlie Ermy, as the drill instructor, and he was a real drill instructor during Vietnam, and he did San Diego, which is what the Paris Island guys call Hollywood Marines. But anyway, I watched him in that movie and I was like, I want to do that. It just seemed so, I don't know what it was about it. I guess it's the whole, all my family, most of my family have served in some branch of the military. Like my uncle was in the Navy. And then my great uncle was in the Army. And then one of my cousins was in the Marine Corps. And his oldest son, which is another one of my cousins, was in the Marine Corps, and he was a guard for President Bush back in the day. And I've always had a tremendous respect for the Marines, particularly because, I watched their training. I still watch it today. I go on here on YouTube and watch Paris Island, what they go through, and how these drill instructors will break you down and they will build you back up better than you were when you first came there. And I've always had a tremendous respect for our military and what they do. And I have a friend that I've known since 6th grade. He went into the Marines right out of high school. And he came to see me right before he left for deployment. And he was telling me, like, hey, man, maybe you should think about joining up, but I couldn't. I have scoliosis in my back. And I got calls. I did get a call from a Marine Corps recruiter. And he's talking to me, telling me about the Corps, and what they can do for me if I'd like to join up. And then he said, do you have any medical issues that I should know about? And I told him I have scoliosis in my back. They found it when I was in 8th grade. And he basically could not talk further with me on it. Got a call from the Navy. They told me the same thing. Got a call from the Army. They told me the same thing. That the scoliosis, I know now, I've been watching videos on like MEPS where you go and get checked out before you actually enlist. And as long as the curvature of the spine isn't at above 20 degrees, they'll let you join now. But back then, I think it was different. So they told me that they could not go any further. And I watched that training, man, and I'm like, I wonder if I would have been able to do it. Because, me being in Georgia, had I joined, I would go to Paris Island, South Carolina. And man, like, I have cousins that went there. And my friend went there. And if you are east of the Mississippi, I think it is, or west of the Mississippi, you go to San Diego. But they would tell me, when my friend there really told me, he said he really enjoyed the boot camp. He really liked it. But some of my family had told me, like, man, that is some of the toughest training that you'll go through, you know. And I always told myself, I'm gonna do it so that I can prove to myself that I can do it. Because I have like a major self-esteem problem due to ADHD, because my focus is so bad, there's a lot of stuff that I have a lot of trouble with. And I thought to myself, well, if I can join up with the Marines, I can go in there and see if I can do it, prove to myself that I can do it. But my back prohibited that. And I watch it now, and I'm like, I don't know if I could have done that or not. Because some of it's pretty intense, man. But that's what I wanted to talk about tonight. I just wanted to chit chat for a bit, make a video. So I thought I'd throw in a few topics here. But that was my career choice. It was going to be. And I was going to try and go to drill instructor school to learn how to be an instructor like that. But I learned later that you actually have to be recommended before you can't just go to drill instructor school. You have to be recommended for it. So I probably would not have achieved enough to be recommended for it. So now I work at a factory job. That's what I do. And I kind of thought I'd be a cop at one time because of Resident Evil 2, Leon. But that never worked out. The military didn't work out, so I started going into factory work. My first factory job was a cotton mill, about 3 minutes from my house here. And I worked in fast food for 4 years at Burger King. And now I work for a window company. And I like it. Been there 5 years now, and I like it. So that's what I want to talk about, man. Just a bunch of random stuff. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry for the rocking once again. I know I've had a lot of people tell me that, hey man, you shouldn't rock like that. It's hard to watch your videos. Well, this is how it's going to be, because I can't just sit here and talk, not for 27 minutes. I would be losing my mind in here. Just like, I got to do something. So that's why I do what I do. ADHD is a struggle sometimes. But I hope you guys have a good day, good night, wherever you are in the world. And thanks for watching. We'll see you later.